Well, hello there. This is Ron Howard, xTreme Sequences. And I'm kind of excited to share a cool new tool with you. I had to read the release notes to even know this existed, but I saw a new effect. And I thought, what's that? And it's this guy right here. It's called lines. So the first thing I did with it, because I don't think there's any documentation out there just yet, was to put it on, I don't know, a single line strand. And it was fairly underwhelming. And I thought, must be for something else. So let's put it on the matrix. And all of a sudden, it started making sense. And it's really, really simple if you break it down. And so the line tool, we'll go over these each one at a time. If we use one line, well, that whole thing here represents one line. And then these are the points. If I change the points, you get 2 points. 1 point, well, that's just a line. Actually, it doesn't even go to 1 point. It only goes to 2 points. But 3 looks pretty cool. 4 starts bending it around. That's kind of cool. Sadie, you will have to wait your turn. 5 and 6. So there are 6 different points that you can create on here. It'd be cool if there was a way to maybe create a shape to impact what that point represents, but I don't see it just yet. But 3 looks good here. Let's go ahead and put 3 of these back in. Of course, they're impacted by the colors, red, blue, and yellow that we're using right now. I also put in a ramp here. So if I don't do the ramp on these guys, I'll take these off. You can see here that it's just a basic speed of 1. And if I put the ramp back in, let's just do this guy like I had it. And let's go back here for the up and down speed. Let's do that one. So this will get faster and then slower. Value curves are the best, are they not? Are they not just the coolest thing since sliced bread? All right, so that's that. So that's the thickness. Let me turn this off and I can show you. You can take the thickness all the way up to 10 and we can take it all the way back. Let's put this back on here because I like that. And then the speed, of course, is how fast it goes. And the trails. So what are the trails? Good question. Take this down and you'll see that it's now just a flat line. There's no trails. We start adding trails. You see how it gets a little bit thicker and you can see the individual lines all the way up to 10. Now keep in mind, let's just turn these all off here. You can see the trails on here. See how thick that is? We take the thickness down. Now you can really start seeing the fading of these trails. You can also turn that fade off, which doesn't look super cool to me. It's a different look. It's all right, but I like the fade. It's nice and smooth. So let's go to another scenario with this. I decided to put in some warp effect, and there's some pretty cool things you can do with it. I still kept these value curves on here. I'm still using 3 lines, 3 points, 7 for the trail, and fade on. But you can really start having fun in here with the warp effect on top of it. And that's just set to normal. I mean, there's nothing unique about this because the warp effect already has these unique features. I could do a circle reveal. Check this out. Whoop. And then it'll close back up. We could go with water drops. That's kind of cool. You've seen some of that stuff in other components of my sequencing. We can do the circle swirl. That's kind of cool. So there's a lot of fun things you can do. And by the way, let me take this back here to, we'll just put it on ripple. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can change the layer blending for the warp effect. Bet you didn't know that. Watch what happens if I put this on 1 is true unmask. Basically, gets rid of it. What happens if I put it on 2 is true unmask? Some different things start happening. Oh, did I just turn off canvas? I did. So these layer blendings do have an impact on the effect underneath it. So have fun with that. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's add in a little bit of fan with some fire. Kind of different. Let's take the fan away, just see what the fire looks like. And really all that's doing is using the hue adjustment for changing that, and you see a little bit of fire in there. Not so exciting. I probably like this a little bit better. Maybe I would take this out. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's kind of cool too. it's just all experimenting. Look, I spent 5 minutes on this. Okay, this one happens to be 4 lines now, 3 points, and it gets thicker as it goes, and it speeds up and speeds down. This one here, 4 points. I think it's about the same, except what's different? What's it doing? What's it doing? This thing's like flipping around. That's because I've also applied some x-axis rotation with a value curve that ramps up, some x pivot, and x or a y rotation. And that's kind of cool. And if you ever play with these, be sure to check out the various combinations here and how they go in order. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this one. Ooh, super cool. All right. And this last one I'll share with you is a fan dancing around. So I said, well, if we can have a line tool, why can't we use some of that cool 2D stuff? And the 2D path that creates this, if you look here, see these guys here, x-axis and y-axis, and I did a video on this already, but really to create this value curve, it's a tool up here in the tool section called Generate 2D Path. And you basically just have an image behind you if you want, or you can just kind of freehand where you want the points to go. Really, really cool. So check out that video. And that's really it. So just as a recap, this is the brand new line tool for xLights. I think it's kind of cool, and I look forward to incorporating it into some sequences where it would be appropriate. All right, got to run. Take care, guys.